Welcome back to another episode of the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast. Corey Jason, John Pauline back at you again. And I do want to bring something up that we kind of touched on last week. It was kind of a joke, but I wanted to test my luck. Could have been world ending, but it wasn't. John is not the Winter Soldier. I said all the buzzwords last week. You can go back and listen. Touched on every single one of them.
I'm innocent.
John is not a Russian sleeper soldier. At
I
least
might be
not
an
with those set of
Italian.
words.
I might be another nationality sleeper soldier. Who knows? So
I don't know. I got to find some other rigatoni. Nothing. Oh, I got him. It
a
got him.
little bit.
But John is not a Russian sleeper soldier with the Winter Soldier set of words. Slightly disappointed in that, but I was able to shoehorn every single one of those in.
I didn't even notice, by the way.
Suspicious.
He mentioned to me after we ended recording, and he was saying the words you said, and I'm like, yeah, I thought that was strange. You said some of the stuff you said in the sentences. I just didn't say anything.
Do you know what words? Do you remember what the words were?
I don't. There was one word where you were talking, and I'm like, this makes no sense into what you're saying, and I forget.
So I said longing, rusted, 17, daybreak, furnace, benign, homecoming, one.
It was benign. You said benign in some weird way, and it didn't fit. That's what it was.
So you're saying it maybe keyed you off a little bit.
Well, I was suspicious. It didn't key me off. It just sounded sus.
Some suspicious. Is a little sus.
A little sus.
Well, you can take the floor though if you want to talk about your Phillies and how they were in Queensland over there during the London series against the Mets. How'd that run for you?
I mean, let's see. I think I was able to catch pretty much the end on for both games. I get to see the whole game, but I was able to catch like the end of both games. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, they won. They opened that first one up like early on, and they won that. Like, I mean, I think everyone on the team had a hit. Like every starting player had a hit that first game, which is
Pretty
wild.
good.
I mean, you had I think Harper hit a home run, and I think Castellanos hit a home run. Or I think so. I think it was that game.
Well, I'll give you the 12 best moments according to MajorLeagueBaseball.com.
Tell me what you're 12.
I'm going to give you the 12 best moments of that series and tell me what you remember and how that made you feel. We'll start off with the Mets beating the Phils. The Phils almost having a chance to tie it up, but that game-ending double play in the second game.
Honestly, the Mets got so lucky there the last couple innings because, I mean, they just making good plays. But, I mean, they're lucky.
Now, what about the dirty slide on that play? Sliding into home, I think it was number 23. Who was that, Bohm?
I think so. I don't know. You'd be surprised. I don't know the numbers off my head for all of them.
Whoever it was took a real dirty slide and tried to take out Luis Torrens' legs. Like he slid well out of his way to try to break up the double play, but just very dirty.
Yeah, but you're telling me like not. I mean, you see every player does that. I mean,
yes,
every player, like everyone. I mean, most players are gonna do that.
Well, let's skip around here and go to David Dahl with the pinch hit home run.
I mean, he's really coming through the Phillies. I mean, this was his second home run, I think, up. Or
who do you prefer, him or Cody Clemens?
It's tough to say because, like, Cody Clemens, he's come up and he's kind of like, I don't want to say prove himself because he's been around for a while, but I mean, he's kind of like he's been consistently good as he's up. I mean, Dahl hasn't been up as long, and I mean, he was kind of a failed prospect from the Rockies, I think, right?
Right.
And stuff, and he never really, did what he was supposed to do. But I feel like the Phillies have been getting these guys, these failed top prospects, and they've been like turning them around, at least maybe not fully, but at least enough for them to come up and contribute to the team for the time that they need them to contribute. So I mean, obviously, I think It's hard to say who I prefer over, but I mean, you'd want Clemens because he's going to be good. I don't know if this is just Dahl coming up, doing what he needs to do. I don't know if it's gonna, you don't know if it's gonna last or not.
Well, let me ask you another question. Who would you prefer to throw first pitch to, Bryce Harper or Chase Utley?
Chase Utley.
So
But
Rob McElhenney had to choose between the two of them, and he couldn't, so he decided to do a first pitch double play.
I mean, that's almost what I'd have to go for, but I think I could justify doing Chase Utley.
Yeah,
that was really cool though. I think that was the first ever for
first ever, I believe. First pitch double play.
Just
Now, as a Phillies fan, and I'm assuming an American, correct?
yes, yes.
We all have to hate the Philly fanatic now, right?
You know what? I was upset about. I was gonna say something about it. It's like, why is he dressing up like that?
Like we won a war, so we wouldn't have to dress up like that.
Yeah, and he's from Philly.
He's from Philly.
I think it was our
Now
nation's first capital. The Liberty Bell there.
Wasn't the Declaration of Independence signed in
Yeah,
Liberty Hall
in
yeah. Philadelphia?
Independence Hall, not Liberty Hall. Independence Hall.
Independence Hall, excuse me.
Yeah.
But for the Philly fanatic to dress up as a royal guard, it seemed a little, let's not forget that we had to escape from the clutches of our friends across the pond.
Yeah. Well, they weren't always our friends.
So,
that's the. I don't know. I'm not a fan. I mean, I get it, but I'm not a fan
right.
of
it. Yeah, I thought it was kind of weird.
It's just a little weird.
What other thoughts from that series do you have?
I mean, I don't know if you were able to watch and stuff, but I mean, if you watch, I guess there was I want to say 2 errors or by the Phillies that I think that kind of let the Mets get a little ahead there in the I believe the inning where Alvarado gave up all the 3 runs to put the Mets up. But I think there was that the one ball bounced off the turf, and I think because you're not used to playing on grass, the ball came up a little faster and stuff, and they're misanticipating how the ball's coming up. And I think you had I want to say I think Stott was in at the time. Stott misread a ball and get by him, and you had Boehm. I think the ball came up a little high, and he couldn't make the transfer over the first. So, I mean, I think that
hopefully the Phillies and Mets don't have to go back there for a while to play there, right?
I'm hoping so. I mean, like we talked about before, I mean, it's like you want to grow the game, it's fine, but it's like, why are we doing regular season games that count and taking away home games from teams and stuff? Like, if you're gonna do it, I mean, if you're gonna do it, they should do it how they did the Korean series, do it way and early in the season, so it doesn't mess with anyone's routines or you're not doing weird schedule stuff.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, just very odd. I mean, the Mets played well. Could we say that the Mets might be possibly back?
Hard to say. I mean, they didn't do too well the first game. I mean, I think they got a couple lucky breaks the second game, but they started but they were starting to hit.
I mean, the Mets are 3 out of a wild card spot.
So yeah, but then you look at it, I think there's only I feel like there's
4 teams in the National League that are above 500.
Yeah, one of them is the Philly. That's what I say. So it's I don't know if they really have much competition.
It's tough. I mean, the Mets are right now 16.5 behind Philly, which is more than Tampa Bay, who is in last place, is behind the Yankees. And the Mets aren't even in last place. So
no, behind the Nationals and Marlins are probably in dead last.
The lucky Phillies get to have a nice cushion while the Yankees have the Orioles breathing down their neck all year.
So, I mean, that probably was how it would have been with the Phillies with the Braves, but I mean, the Braves had 2 unfortunate injuries.
Yeah,
happen this season, and that hurts you.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could. It's just hard to come back when 2 of your star players get hurt.
And speaking of star players getting hurt, Garrett Cole's been doing his rehab assignment. I saw him last week pitching Somerset, and he looked great. Pitched another outing the other day. Started only throwing fastballs, getting hit hard, but he was working on just fastballs, nothing but fastballs until the 3rd inning. Then he started adding in some off speed and was just mowing everybody down. So Garrett Cole's probably going to do 1, maybe 2 more rehab starts, build that pitch count up, and then we'll see him in the Bronx.
Do you think he
Imagine
looks
adding
like
Garrett
he's
Cole,
ready?
the reigning Cy Young Award winner, into this already insanely good Yankee rotation.
Does he look like he? Do you think he looks like he's like ready to?
Oh, he's
He
ready.
looks like
He's
mid-season form.
ready. He's ready. But somebody else we do got to talk about though is Juan Soto, superstar. Left the game last week with a bit of forearm tightness. Now, in my mind, I was thinking back to Jason Dominguez last year, and I thought Soto was destined for Tommy John. And until we see him back in the lineup, that was still my thought. But he's in the Yankee lineup, Monday night versus Kansas City. So he's DHing, but that should be a good sign that he's ready to go. Didn't play all during the Dodgers series. Lots of "we want Soto" chants, especially right before that Trent Grisham home run on Sunday Night Baseball, where they're yelling "we want Soto." Grisham hits that big game-winning 3-run home run, and then before his next at bat, it changed to "we want Grisham." So the Yankee fans and the players having a little bit of fun. Just what do you make of that? When you first heard that Soto left injured, what was your initial thoughts on
I
that?
mean, it's obviously concerning whenever, like, even if it's not your team, when it's like a star player like Soto gets hurt. But I mean, like Tommy John for an offensive player isn't the end of the world, as we've seen with like Bryce Harper and
That was
stuff,
gonna be
where
my
they've
next
been able
question.
to play through the energy and put the surgery off until after. You would just have to DH them and stuff. But I think it's been shown that like you can hit with without getting the surgery. You just can't throw. But it seems like it doesn't really affect your
Yeah,
hitting. So it wouldn't be the end of the world. So and it's not anything, but it's not like Soto is like an amazing plus defender in the outfield there.
but he's been good. He's been good.
Solid, but it's not like he's solid. But I'm just saying. So like I don't think you'd miss him. I feel like the Yankees have people that can fill in there in the
They
outfield
do.
that can be just as solid, and you can just move Soto to DH if it is serious. But I mean, if he's back in the lineup, obviously it doesn't seem too serious. Sometimes it's just not
Yeah,
everything's not sometimes just small
but
injuries.
listen to the Yankees outfield though for that first game versus Kansas City, and tell me how much fear that strikes into you. Verdugo in left, Trent Grisham in center, and Jahmai Jones in right field. No Judge, no Stanton.
Who's Jahmai Jones?
Exactly. He's been Stanton's designated pinch runner pretty much for late game
Hmm.
substitutions.
I
Does have
guess
hits on the year, including a home run, but he's only had 9 at bats.
are they DHing Stanton?
Soto is DHing tonight.
Soto's
No
DHing.
Judge at all. Gets his first day off of the year.
I guess you got to give days off at some point, and I
Yeah,
guess Boone felt
I'm
that this was the time to do it.
I'm worried that this is going to be, you know, what cools Judge off, but Judge did earn a day off.
Well, uh, I think with Judge, I mean, you do. I mean, it's hard to give a player when they're this hot a day off. But I think with Judge and his just like history with injuries, you kind of want to
Right.
throw in a rest here and there.
Yeah, of course, give him a
So
day.
yeah,
Y'all did you also see that Jason Worth's horse won the Belmont Stakes? You want to throw
I
that out
did.
there?
Former Philly.
Yeah. That was interesting seeing him out there. Big hair. I always liked Jason Worth when I was
He has
younger.
some style. I mean, he has some
Yeah.
style there. He's like, he has the big beard, the long hair, the glasses, the
Does
hat.
this make him a two-sport athlete?
Oh,
Like,
it makes him a
do
two sport champion, right?
yeah,
At least.
pretty cool.
I mean, that's probably at first. First, I feel like that has to be a
That's
first
got to
being
be
first
one of the.
MLB
I don't
player.
know. Baseball and horses seem to have gone hand in hand for a while. A lot of players like to bet the ponies at the track back in the day. But also want to bring up the Twins City Connect. We bring up the City Connect uniforms pretty much every time they come out. This Twins one inside their cap, they got the Great Lakes outlined uh, in a topographical map of Lake Minnetonka, which is a reference to a Prince lyric from a song. about Lake Minnetonka. You brought it up off air, and
Mm.
I do want to bring that up. Why do all these city connectors seem to be just a combo of blue, black, and yellow, or blue and yellow? You got the Twins, you have the Red Sox, and the Phillies. Plus, I'm sure there's others that just aren't coming to my
I
head
want
right
to say,
away.
is it Brewers too?
Yeah, I
I
think you're right
think
with the Brewers.
like there's a lot, and it's just I don't know if they're doing. I know for Philly it was like their city flag colors, but I mean, I just don't know. It's just like a lot. You see a lot of the same color combinations from these city connect jerseys, and they kind of all. I don't think they just don't. I feel like a lot of them fall short of what they could have been because you see like people mocking up stuff online, like fans and stuff doing their designs, and it's like it looks 10 times better.
Yeah, it's just a unique color combo that isn't really unique anymore.
No, I mean, it's just I mean like just it used to be like you never used to see like that, that
Yeah,
blue and that yellow. It's just a weird
weird combo.
combination, and now it's like everywhere. And it's
Uh,
not really easy on the eyes, like a lot of
it's I like those bright color combos, but it
blue and
overused.
yellow. Yeah.
But moving on from that, did you see, Buster Olney, right? Big baseball reporter, one of the best, one of the ones that you look at when he tweets something out, you think it's real.
Mhm.
So he tweeted some interesting stuff out earlier. The Philadelphia Phillies and the Chicago White Sox are finalizing a deal that will send star outfielder Luis Robert Jr. to Philadelphia, per sources. He also said that the New York Mets are finalizing a deal that will send Francisco Lindor to the Oakland Athletics. Unfortunately for the Mets and the Phillies, Buster only got hacked. Some other tweets were, I swear to you, I don't even know who I hacked. Who is this Buster? Then he tweeted out, I hate Mets. Then he said, okay, if I get an unlimited prison sentence, who will come and bring panties?
I didn't see any of these.
Another one is Shohei Ohtani has been banned for life from MLB in connection to his charges from gambling. His trial is on August 28th, and it is speculated he could get life in prison. Then he also tweeted out, the season is canceled due to COVID. Just a lot of really, really fun stuff.
That's
Fortunately or unfortunately, he did get his account back, but some really funny,
at least
really
it
funny.
wasn't anything too like
He also did spew out some crypto stuff, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah, that's like with most things, but I'm kind of happy with all that trade's not real though. I don't think the Phillies need to.
Really?
I I've been I going I like everyone wants to trade for outfielder because they're like we need more power in the outfield. It's like we don't not everyone needs to be a power hitter. And frankly, like Castellanos, even though he was a slow start, he has some power. He was 1 home run short of 30 home runs last year, and finished batting 270. So, and I'm sure he's going to put similar numbers up this year. So, and that's solid. And then Rojas isn't a power guy. He's there for his defense because that's all everyone complained about was defense forever and ever. Then you get someone in for defense, and they're like, "Well, we got to
Right.
get rid of him because he's not bad and he's not doing great." And Marsh, he's solid and he has some power too. I mean, he's hurt right now, but he'll be back. And
Some
the guys
other
they have filling in are good.
But some
Hmm?
other tweets though that we missed were Baltimore O's are relocating to Las Vegas and the Oakland A's will stay in Oakland.
That'd be what I that would have been great. That'd be hilarious. That would have been hilarious. I'm sad that's not true.
He also tweeted out a picture of A's owner John Fisher and captioned, I love this guy. So he had a very, very fun time.
Someone needs to make the parody count of it now and just tweet the guy didn't just tweet the stuff out like that over and over again.
So somebody before one of his other tweets said, can you just tweet, I hate the Mets? Thanks. So he replied back, of course. Then he tweeted out, "I hate Mets," and then said, "I don't know what Mets means, but if it's something bad, I'll do it." So just a really fun time. Really, really fun. But you know what else has been a fun time? Watching Aaron Judge play baseball. He's my stud this week. John, in 6 games, 20 at bats, he's got 10 hits. 10 hits in 20 at bats. 3 home runs, 3 doubles, a triple. He's only struck out 4 times to 7 walks, 12 runs batted in. He's hitting 500 with a 1.830 OPS. That's insanity.
I mean, we're talking about it before we started recording, and I mean, it's just crazy what he's been doing so far this season.
Yeah,
I mean, it's wild.
it's wild. And then for my dud, I'm going to go future Yankee trade option, Ryan McMahon, third baseman from the Rockies. 6 games, 25 at bats. He's got 2 hits, a walk, 12 strikeouts. He's hitting 080 and with a 235 OPS. I mean, Aaron Judge's batting average over the last week is higher than McMahon's OPS in that span by more than double, which is crazy, but it doesn't change the fact that I really want Ryan McMahon to be a Yankee. I think he's the perfect trade candidate. But who is your stud and who is your dud?
Well, my dud last week, someone who was getting benched because he was in such a bad slump. Yanier Diaz is not in a slump anymore. Last 6 games, I think this is within like 6 or last 7 games. 7 games, Corey. 8 hits, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs.
Wow. Wow.
So he can't.
He can't. Yeah.
He heard me call him a dud, and he took it personally. Is what I think happened. But I mean, 4 home. That's like he turned it up immediately. So a dud no longer. But I think someone who was a former stud a few weeks back, but now is a dud, Willie Adames. He went 1 for 20, just 1 hit, 1 RBI, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's striking. It doesn't seem like he's striking out a lot. So he's hitting the ball, but like just nothing seems to be getting by. So he was doing really good for the Brewers and stuff, and he was they were winning, and now he's not contributing much, and I think and the Brewers have been kind of on a little bit of a slide.
He was a great trade for them when they acquired him, but players get older, they age, but I have faith that Willie Adames will bounce back. I still think he's a very solid player.
Yeah.
All right. You know what time it is, John?
I think I do.
Time for Pauline's prospect powwow. Talk to us. What do we got on tap? What division this week?
Okay, well this is gonna be the last division that we're doing, at least for a week. And take a break after this one.
All right.
And I think of what I'm gonna do again. But we did AL West last week, and I saved the NL West for last.
NL West
not necessarily for any particular reason, it just worked out that way. So, but I had a kind of a rough, busy day today, so I didn't get to write down all my notes on here. Usually, somebody reading off their prospect page more so. So, hopefully that goes well. But the first guy here, we got Cole Carrig.
Cole or Colt?
Cole, C-O-L. Cole Carrig.
I'm gonna say he is a Padre.
Ooh, no. He's a Colorado Rocky.
I was hoping you were doing a Chase Dollinger or something for the Rockies.
No, this guy, Cole Carrig, Carrigg.
Tell me about him.
So this guy's interesting. I picked him. This is why I picked him interesting, because he plays the outfield, shortstop, and catcher.
Wow, it's a good combo right there.
That's a great, crazy combo. He was drafted in 2023 in the competitive build round B, 65th overall for that. And when anyone doesn't know about the competitive round thing, it happens in between of the normal MLB draft. And I forget what rounds, but for teams like the 10 teams that are like small market and under a certain thing, get thrown in and get to pick more players, basically. But he played. He had 3 years at San Diego State. In those 3 years, he played literally every position,
That's
except first
versatility will
base.
get him on the field pretty quickly.
Yeah, every position except first base, and even had some relief appearances. So not he did everything. He was pitching. He was everything but first.
Right.
He's the eighth ranked prospect on their team. His ETA is 2026. He's in high A, so he's 22. Um, when he came up, he hit 329 with 15 stolen bases in the Cape Cod League in 2022, and then he opened up at the Arizona Complex League, slashing for 350, 408, and 600. So he's a switch hitter. He makes contact from both sides of the plate. He can be aggressive at times, but
Right.
he makes the compact. He is good out of the box. He's like athletic in the box, good bat speed, drives the ball, and he's a threat on the base paths too.
When's his ETA?
2026.
So he needs a little more time to season up down there.
Yeah, he's a little time. He plays right now. They have him playing, I think, shortstop, center field more. He has a really good arm, so I think the Rockies might want to use him at center there,
Right.
especially with the big field out there. But he really likes catching. But he's like their third best option, I believe. So, but I mean, he wherever he goes, he's going to be good. So I mean, he just seems like a jack of all trades, though. So
Who's next on the list?
next guy, let me get this.
Next guy
Next guy
is
up.
going to be
Against the team.
It's gonna be a Padre,
Ooh, no,
Diamondback,
no,
Dodger.
yes,
All right, that counts.
Jackson Ferris.
Jackson Ferris.
So yes, he's the sixth ranked prospect on their team. He's left-handed pitcher, ETA also 2026.
Embarrassment of riches there for the Dodgers.
So he was an elite prospect as a junior at IMG Academy when he had a no-hitter and a perfect game in his first two starts. So I mean, and he later handed Andrew Painter, who's the Phillies' #1 prospect, his only loss of this season, of like that season. So he was drafted by the Cubs though in 2022 in the second round, and I guess he got traded over. It doesn't say, and I guess they threw him to second round, made us strong. I don't know. It doesn't say how he got here. I'm guessing through a trade. So I don't know how he
trade on January 11th.
Yeah.
The Dodgers acquired Jackson Ferris and Zaire Hope from the Cubs in exchange for right-hander Yency Almonte and infielder Michael Bush.
Michael Bush was doing some good for the Cubs there for a little bit.
Ferris was the Cubs' #8 prospect at the time, and this also helped clear two 40-man roster spots for the Dodgers.
So sounds like it worked out. But Ferris, he has he has a 92, 95 mile per hour fastball that can hit 97. He has a 75 to 78 curveball and a 79 to 82 slider. And he has a mid-80 changeup. So he has some trouble keeping his mechanics in sync, which can, cost him some control and stuff. But he has the athleticism is there. They say he's adding strength to his frame, so that should help him hit his pitches more and stuff. And they're comparing him to Blake Snell at the same stage in his career right now.
Interesting.
So this guy can be
multiple-time Cy Young winner.
Yeah, this guy's going to be a top of the line starter. And I don't know if you've noticed over the past couple of weeks, but a lot of these pitchers they're putting more strength on their frames. If you see that a lot with young players, it seems like a lot of the time they're building up strength more than anything, it seems. Because you see that happening a lot. I think right now he has a 4.94 ERA in high A right now. But long season. So But I think he can be a very, very top of the line pitcher there, which I think the Dodgers need. Because I feel like
Right.
they're a little weak there on the starting pitching. Now the next one. Do you want to guess the teams? I feel like you can get
Let
this.
me hear the name.
Okay. Homer Bush Jr.
Homer Bush Jr. I know for a fact is a Padre.
He is a Padre there.
I knew that one for a fact, though. Do you know
Yeah,
who Homer? Do you remember Homer Bush?
vaguely. But this is his
Oh,
son.
this is his son. Homer Bush was an ex-Yankee.
Ex-Yankee.
Won a World Series with the
World
Yankees.
Series champ, 1998 World Series.
Yes, he was.
He's played in the majors for 7 years. But
So
but
tell me
that's
about his progeny.
we're gonna talk about him. Homer Bush Jr. He was drafted 2023 fourth round by San Diego. He's in high A right now. ETA is also 2026. He's the team's eighth ranked prospect. He's an outfielder. He at junior Grand Canyon he slashed for 370, 478, 500 with 38 walks, 27 strikeouts, 25 steals in 58 games. He bats from the right. He can be aggressive in the box, but he has good bat to bat skills, to keep the strikeouts down. So he has good quickness and ample range of center fielder,
Right.
and he has instincts, and they keep improving. So I mean,
He's just the next in line of MLB players whose dad played in the majors, and they're looking to make a big contribution. I mean, you got Bo Bichette, Vlad Guerrero Jr., even Kevin Biggio, even though he got DFA'd, Cody Bellinger, Brian Hayes, just a lot of guys.
Leiter, who's just up. I think I don't know if he's up anymore.
Jack Leiter, Mark Leiter Jr.,
There's a lot.
Mike Yastrzemski's grandfather is a big deal.
So, and sometimes this stuff does run in families. I mean, so I mean, it's safe to say that he'll probably be a solid player when he eventually comes up. So I mean, right now he's batting 272 in high A, which isn't bad. I mean, considering that his ETA is 2026, so I mean, don't have to be worried too much about his stats. So let's see. Do you want to guess the next team? Or do you want that? What do you want to hear? Do you want to try to guess the team? You have a 50-50 chance here.
Let me hear the name. Let me hear the name.
Okay. Bryce Eldridge.
Wow, I know that name. How do I know that name? Bryce Eldridge. Bryce Eldridge. Who's Bryce Eldridge? He's
a first baseman.
My God, John, I know this. I know this. He's a first baseman. Oh, I'm confusing him with Bryce Elder at first to begin
Yeah,
with.
I know. Yeah. But it's Bryce Eldridge.
I've said Diamondbacks a couple times, so I'm going to say Giants, who I haven't said yet.
It is the Giants. He is the Giants.
Hey.
He's their third ranked prospect. This is the first prospect I have that's ranked in MLB's top 100 at 74 overall. He's 19. He's 6'7". Bats
6'7". You sure he's not a Yankee prospect?
Not a Yankees prospect.
Not yet.
It might be. ETA is also 2026.
You like looking just a couple years off into the future.
A little bit, that's where you got to find the stuff. I mean, a lot of, you try to get ahead of the ball here, so I can be like, I said it first. You heard it here first. But he was drafted 2023 in the first round by San Francisco. He was the best two-way talent in the 2023 draft. He won MVP honors at the 2022 18 and under World Cup after homering and spinning a shutout inning in a Gold Glove medal victory over Chinese Taipei. So it's like
it's pretty good.
I mean, he had an ankle injury. He had an ankle injury that limited him on the mound last spring. He still continued to dominate both ways. So it's kind of sounding like I don't know. Maybe another two-way player.
A lot of them.
Coming up here.
The first one was Brent Honeywell. after the
Yeah,
Otani experiment, but he didn't really
so
work out well.
maybe he might work out. He carried his high school Vienna to its second Virginia Class 6 title in 3 seasons, winning Gatorade State Player of the Year award. He homered 6 times in 31 games and reached single A in his pro debut. He has raw power ranked among the best in the 2023 class. He already hits the ball harder than most minor leaguers as a teenager. He has a quiff left, handed stroke and strength and leverage in his 6'7" frame. He crushed the ball out of the park. He just good feel for hitting, really compact swing for his size, disciplined approach, below average speed, but that's expected with the guys these size. Someone this tall, usually you're not looking at speed. That you're looking at
Right.
more power. So, but he plays first where he has soft hands and good arm strength. So, I mean, he was interested in trying to play both ways as a pro after showing a 92, 94 mile per hour fastball that peaked at 96 and had a solid low 80s slider. But the Giants are going to have him focus solely on hitting. So, but maybe that's something they'll revisit.
Yeah, you
Who
never
knows?
know.
So never say never. And right now
Never say
he
never.
is batting 268 in single A.
That doesn't mean anything.
So nothing. But you want to check out how they're doing. That means absolutely nothing. Now the last one, the Arizona Diamondbacks. And this, I think, this he might sound a little bit familiar here. At least maybe you can figure out who his he had a father in the MLB.
Let's hear it. What's his name?
Drew Jones.
I wonder if his father played for the Yankees.
His father played for the Braves.
Yeah, also with the Yankee. Him and Raul Ibanez were together with the Yankees in, I believe, 2012. Towards the end
Andrew
of Andrew
Jones is
Jones's
his dad.
career.
Yeah.
Andrew with a U, though.
Andrew with a U, and his son's name is Drew with a U. So, but he was drafted first in the first round, I think second overall by Arizona in 2022. He's an outfielder. He's in single A right now. You want to guess what his ETA is?
2027.
2026 again.
I thought you were about to throw me for a loop.
No, that was on the 2026 ETA. That's all unintentional, like all unintentional. I wasn't trying to set this up at all. But he, drafted by there. In the minors, he batted quad and hamstring injury was his first full season last year. When he did go on the field, he slashed 252, 366, 351 with 2 homers in 29 games at single A. So not too bad considering, he's battling injuries and stuff. That's a pretty solid stat line he put together. He's a plus runner, tracks down balls with ease in center field, much like, his dad did on his way to winning 10 Gold Gloves. I mean, he's a defensive standout. He made a Willie Mays style over-the-shoulder grab in the deepest part of the ballpark in his first pro game. So, I mean, his arm strength, he has really good arm strength. Has the wheels, good glove, solid prospect. He has good bat speed, good exit velocity. I mean, it sounds like he's going to follow in his dad's footsteps. I mean, so.
I hope he's a good player. I have a lot of faith in him, but he's got to kind of figure it out, or him and Jackson Holiday are going to be forgotten.
They are. Well, he has some ETA. He's not supposed to be up for at least another 2 years, so he is a while. He's in high A right now. He's in single A right now, batting 273 right now, so not bad,
Right.
But I think we'll go, and that's not to mention I forgot to say he's also ranked 78th in MLB's top 100, and he's the third ranked prospect too. So,
all right, Sean, you want to lead us right in? What series you're highlighting this week? I'm sure you're really excited to talk about.
I am excited for this one.
Teams.
It's the Phillies are playing the Orioles at Baltimore.
The John Pauline Bowl.
So,
who are you rooting for?
I mean the Phillies. Obviously the Phillies. It's the Phillies. I mean, I like the Orioles.
A little too much hesitation on that, huh?
I like the Orioles. But the Phillies are my favorite team. They're my team. I do like the Orioles, though. I think they're a good, they're a good young team and going to keep getting better. And I was high on them last year, and I'm high on them again this year. But also I'm also excited for this game because I guess you can say a lot of people are gonna say this is the Phillies like first time playing like I guess a good team. So if the Phillies can at least win the series here,
That's a
that'll be
yeah.
huge. That's
That'll be
huge.
especially for public perception, where the best team the Phillies
Yes.
played is the Mets.
So Brewers, they were 600 when they played them first. They're first place team, one of the only
Yeah,
teams. They're one of the four teams in the
true.
National League over 500. So it's
Now,
not their
obviously,
fault that the National League stinks.
it is not. The American League, though, is a gauntlet. You
There's
have,
8, I believe, in there over 500.
I want to throw out there, other than Philly, Baltimore is also playing Atlanta, so a rough stretch of games for Baltimore. The game, though, I want to kind of emphasize is the Yankees at the Royals. The Royals, one of the big surprise teams this year, along with their division mates, the Guardians. And Kansas City is probably one of the top 5 teams in baseball right now. Definitely, there's an argument for them. It's definitely top, 5 in the American League, which is pretty much where the best teams in baseball is outside the Phillies and the Dodgers. So the Yankees are playing them. Soto back in the lineup, who actually got a single in his first at bat, right up the middle. Yankees lead them right now 2-0. That game was ongoing, that first game of the
Who's
series.
pitching?
Seth Lugo's pitching.
Oh, I have him in fantasy. That's not good.
No,
That's
top
not
of the
good.
first, gave up 2 runs. Lugo's having an amazing year, as John could attest to.
Yeah.
Got like a 2.15 ERA, 2.20 ERA.
Yeah, he's having a good year. I mean, this is going to be one of his first real tests. So, I mean, 2 runs isn't that's nothing. You can still, if you come back, pitch a solid, 3, 4 more innings, not that bad.
Lugo versus Carlos Rodon. Kansas City was pretty meaningful for Rodon because that's where he ended his season last year. And instead of coming back with the team, he just went off into the forest and stayed in a cabin for like a couple weeks or whatever, a week, to just kind of clear his mind, stayed away from his family. He had a terrible year last year. After he played in Kansas City, he kind of left to a cabin just to clear himself. And now he's playing at an all-star caliber rate. He's playing really, really well. But you got no Judge, but he'll be back tomorrow. So Judge, Soto, and Bobby Witt Jr., who's right there with them as some of the best players in all of baseball. Bobby Witt, I think, is the best shortstop in all of baseball, closely followed by like Gunnar Henderson and Anthony Volpe.
I mean,
But Bobby Witt Jr., I think, is the best shortstop in baseball.
it's hard to argue that. I mean, he's a lot better than I thought he was going to be this year. I mean, the Royals as a whole.
Now, I do want to bring up Mookie Betts is a shortstop now, but I still have trouble considering him a shortstop
Yeah,
after he was a right fielder for all those
that's
years.
right.
Maybe do
I
it for more than a year before I really consider it.
didn't Mookie Betts wasn't he originally a shortstop though? Like did
Second
he start off
baseman.
in the minor? I thought I was second baseman. Okay.
He was a second baseman when he came up with the Red Sox, played second and right, and played right consistently.
I just thought he played short in the minors.
He could have. I'm sure he
I
did.
think. Yeah.
But it's been a while, and he
Interesting.
wasn't an MLB shortstop at that point.
Maybe it was. I thought he played it. Maybe it was high school or college or something.
Whatever it is, he's also great, but I think Bobby Witt just is above everybody. But that'll do it here for us. John Pauline, Corey Jason. It's been another episode of the Outsider Sports Baseball Podcast. Keep tuning in. OutsiderSports.net for our bi-weekly rankings. Get those every other week. Check out the Twitter, Outsider Sports 3. YouTube, TikTok, search up Outsider Sports. You'll find some of these videos. You know where to find us if you're watching this. And we're gearing up. Football is going to be starting up in a little while, a couple months. That's gone on very quick.
Can't
We're
wait
already.
for this one.
No, we're not.
I'm excited for Penn State football.
I'm excited to watch Penn State football lose. It's going to be a nice rivalry with me and John, because both of our teams, I'm a Rutgers guy, John's a Penn State guy. John doesn't want to admit it, but Penn State's biggest rival in the Big Ten is Rutgers. Just because Michigan and Ohio State don't want to be rivals with Penn State, so they just got to look for us.
Well, it's hard to be rivals when you don't win any games.
Geographically, I think we're the closest to Penn State.
I believe so.
So, I mean, it just makes sense. Luckily, Rutgers doesn't have Penn State, Ohio State, or Michigan, or Oregon on their schedule this year. So double-digit wins for football, possible college playoff expanded dark horse. John knows how our defense is. It's the truth. It's real.
I mean, Rutgers has a good team. They have a good team.
About time. It's
I
about
think they
time.
could have beat Ohio State last year if they had the depth.
The depth.
That's what kills you.
That's what kills is the depth. But we'll talk some more football and maybe throw in a little college football if Ryan allows us. But that'll do it here for us. Corey, John, signing off.